Hey guys, welcome back. It's 2022. It's springtime. It's starting to get some melt. Beautiful blue skies. I don't know if you can see that, but there's really not a cloud in the sky. Kind of a nice day. Anyway, it's inspired me to get outside and come take a look at the boats. While I was here, I noticed that this one's sitting in the back, and a lot of questions come up asking me how long the results of my work last. This is what it looked like before. The last time I filmed this boat was about November. That was about 8 months after I had done the work. So you want to know how long it lasts? That's how long it lasts. And I admit, right now I don't have very many boats in the stable. Got a couple snowmobiles. That's cool. But this year is going to start off. I just wanted to say hi. Basically just boats. Gelcoat restoration, oxidation removal, stuff like that. This year is going to be kind of fun for me personally. I met somebody last year that I've been working on for a while. She's freaking amazing. I can't wait to introduce her to you. She says she wants to learn how to detail boats, so I'm not going to lie, I'm going to put her in a video and you might enjoy that. In other news, I've got two legal cases wrapping up. One is an intellectual property rights case that I'm really enjoying the potential of. That one sounds fun. And then I've got a separation/divorce, committed intimate relationship separation issue going on in Washington State. So that's been going on since 2020. Hopefully this year, and actually they just had their last hearing March 3rd of this year. So fingers crossed, things could be going my way really quick, and I'm looking forward to it. All right. Last fall, as you recall, I took the Searay emblems off this boat, and I told you that I would show you how to put those back on. I will. Baby steps. It was winter. I needed a break. You'll see this pinstriping all along the boat, the blue. That's not actually the pinstriping. That's masking tape covering the pinstriping because the pinstriping was brand new, and if I put a wool pad on there with some compound and I get going and build up a little heat, I could actually melt it or tear through it, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to prepare for the work that I'm going to do and the damage that I could do by masking off some things that I don't want to ruin. I've started on the top side of the foredeck here. I usually start in the top down, front to back. It's typically my process on a boat. And to get an idea of what the reflection looked like before, here you go. Ugh. All right, so you probably want to know how to do that. I'm going to use some very simple basic stuff that I've shown you about how to use before. It's basically a couple wool pads. Now these are all white, they're just red because they've got some boat in them. Wool pads, that's it. I'm going to use a little bit of Perfected EXAC, even though it doesn't say EXAC. This is the product. I've got gallons of it. I just recycle the bottles. And instead of a Monster or a Bang, I'm using a Raise Energy because it's $1.50, not $2. So that's kind of cool. Same ingredients, saves me money. And now I'm about ready to get into this. I'm going to take this buffer, that pad, and we're going to clean up a boat. So if you'll stay with me, I promise you I will show you some stuff. In the meantime, I'm going to get going, and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye. All right, guys, you've probably come across this where you've got decals on your boat. It's a colored gel coat, a colored paint. Where you've removed a decal, in this case it's a registration decal, you can see that the color is a lot darker than it is on either side. I've also got something up here that's seen a little bit more direct sunlight than what's underneath the gunnel. So what I'm going to do, since I've got these pinstripes covered and taped off, I'm going to attack these two sections as if they were two different sections, not one thing. So let me get into this. I'll show you how I do it. It's not the only way to do it. So I've got a little compound in here that I've mixed up. It's a combination of heavy cut with a little bit of Perfected EXAC. I am just going to put a little bit on here. A couple little dots up here. All right. Now I'm just going to grab it and work it into each section, and hopefully this little spot right here blends into the seds pretty nice. Here we go. So I'm just using the tip of the buffer wheel. This is what I'll call the 12 o'clock from here on out. 12 o'clock, like on a clock. 12, 3, 6, 9. Even if I reverse it and I'm using it backwards, this is still 12 o'clock. So I'm going to use 12 o'clock, drag this compound across this little section of paint, and I'm changing the angle about 15 degrees one side to the next. Turn it up a little bit, turn it back down, turn it up, turn it down. Okay, let's get into some other edges. Same basic thing, using the 12 o'clock. And now you'll see that I'm just changing the angle ever so slightly. So on one pass, I'm getting cuts that go up like this. In the other pass, I'm getting cuts that go like this. And what it does is it puts like a crisscross pattern in there. You're getting a lot more effective use out of your compounding, just like you would if you were using sandpaper. Here we go again. Now the color's coming back, but I still have some little teeny scratches here where somebody was trying to remove the decal. So I'm going to throw a little bit more compound on there and get a little bit more aggressive. And I noticed a little bit of a line right there. I might touch that just a hair more. So here we go, same thing. A little bit more. So now the very next step in this area is to remove the masking tape, pull this off, and put the tape on the top of the line and get the rest of it. We'll just shift the tape so we're protecting the pinstripe. That's all we're doing with the blue tape. Alright, so if you've got some old decals, old pinstriping along the side of your boat, and you know that if you hit it with a buffer, you're going to go through it, but you want to protect it. What I've done, I've got pinstripe underneath this piece of blue masking tape. It only takes up, you can see the line about halfway up the masking tape. So I basically am matching the bottom line of the pinstripe to the masking tape and doing the same thing with the pinstripe on the bottom, so that all I'm focusing on is this one little strip in the middle. And I'll show you how that goes. Basically going to use the 12 o'clock position on the buffer. I'm just going to kind of go back and forth, right? Inspect it, like it, okay. Now this is the fun part. And actually it's not the fun part, but you can see what's happening here. So from here to here, done. From here up, not so much. But I really don't need to polish the pinstripe, do I? So, let's pull the tape back to a certain point and then reattach it. This time, at the top of the pinstripe. But this time, we get the part that was under the tape. And unfortunately, on some boats, you have to do this process all the way around. 1, 2, 3, plus a bunch back there. But that's what you have to do to protect your pinstriping. So I'm going to continue on. I'm going to finish up the top portion of this hull, and then we'll work on the bottom portion. So give me a sec. I'll be right back. All right, so after the compounding's been done, you can remove your pinstripe covering tape, your protection. Then I'm going to put a little piece of tape right at the bottom of this orange pinstripe so I can get this little section right there. Shouldn't take all that much time. And there you go. After hard compounding, all the pinstripe is still there. The paint is still there. So what I need to do now, because I used a wool pad on paint, I know I probably left some swirls and some scratches. So I'm going to go over this maybe one more time with a random orbital polisher with a soft foam pad and a little bit, like literally a drop per section of perfected EXAC. Once I do that, then I'm going to clean the boat, make sure I've gotten all the oils removed, all this compound stuff that's in the gap between the boat and the pinstripe. All that's going to get removed, and then we're going to polish it. That'll be kind of cool. That's the other way. So you can see this top side's pretty hammered, pretty knackered, lots of scratches. This one's going to take a little bit of time, and I've already played a little bit up here. I don't think it looks great, but it's starting to. So the hull is done almost. As soon as I, like I said, go around this with the perfected EXAC on a foam pad on a random orbital polisher, I will clean it, inspect it, and then put a polish on it. In this case, I think what I'm going to use, is this stuff. This is Fire Glaze Plus, made by a company called RMP, Restructure Marine Polish. You can contact them at www.autopolish.com, or you can call them toll free, 1-800-264-1507. This stuff's insane. This is about a 3-year polish. In other words, you can put it on a boat. If you don't do anything to it except for clean it, you should be good for about 36 months. What I typically do is put this on once, and then next year I'll put another coating on, because it's basically just wipe on, wipe off. And then you pretty much don't have to compound or wax your boat ever again. Anyway, let's get back into this boat, shall we? Sometimes I get a question. People seem to want to know exactly how I put wax on. I don't think there's too much to it, but okay, I'll show you. Sometimes I like to do it by hand. Put a little bit of pad, rub it on, get it all in there, take it off with the buffer wheel, maybe a random orbital with a soft foam pad. In this case, I'm just going to apply the polish. This is the Fire Glaze Plus. I'm going to apply it directly to the pad. It doesn't take much. The pad's dry right now, so I'll wet it up a little bit, and then after that, a couple drops every couple feet, and that's it. So, here we go. About it for the start. Set it on a low setting. I'm going to go with the 1 setting. Lifting up a little bit on the edge, just so I can push it into the pores of the gel coat, or the little nooks and crannies of the paint. Making sure to get everything. Now, you probably look at this and you don't see too much polish on the boat. My guess is if you look down here, you might be able to see the patterns left in as I put the wax on. Then again, maybe not. It's really light, guys. This is so light. It doesn't take much. This product is an absolute miracle. It's a full-on nanotech product. So a little bit goes a long way. If you've been watching any of my videos for any length of time, I always tell you, use a car polish for cars and use a boat polish for boats, right? Okay, so when I've got paint and gel coat on the same boat, it's not always easy to kind of use a bespoke polish on this section, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. So, Fireglaze Plus is a true nanoparticle polish. In other words, it bonds to the surface the moment it touches it. I am not using a polymer-based or a lattice-based or any sort of sealer that just puts a shell over the boat. I mean, technically this does put a shell over the boat, but it's much, much more than a shell. It's a brilliantly hard, very scratch-resistant, toxin-resistant product that I use on my car and my boat. And I can't say enough about it. It doesn't cost that much per bottle. It looks really good when it's done, and it lasts for a really, really long time. All right, guys. I've got a little bit of a different product on this side of the hull. This is actually Flagship by Meguiar's. I'm just doing a test. Sometimes I don't know exactly what's right, what's wrong. So this guy is going to come back after a season and I'll know, hey, the port side looks amazing while the starboard side has a little bit of fading. And if that's the case, then guess what we're going to use on the starboard side? We're going to use Fireglaze Plus, exactly. Although, at the same time, maybe the Flagship outlasts the Fireglaze Plus. Not going to happen. But if it does, I'll use Flagship on the other side. So, on this side, while it's got wax on it and it's dry, I'm going to go switch to a soft nylon pad on my buffer. And I'll be right back. We'll set it up, and you can see how, well, a different way that I take wax off on the same boat, which is kind of weird. All right, let me put you on pause. Here we go. All right, let's first start with a soft, clean pad. I'm using a wool nylon mix by 3M. Got my trusty spur. Spool it up. Fluff her back up, nice and clean. All right, I'll just start in this section here because you can't see the bow or the stern, so everything is the same as it always is. Edges first, then your middles, all right? So let's find an edge. Hey, here's an edge. Okay, edge number one, where's another edge? I mean, we can always go from the top to the bottom, so hey, look, there's another edge. Okay, so what else we got? We got the top, we got the bottom. Let's go for either this one or this one. I'll go for the underneath. Okay, so these are kind of the edges. Okay, we got another edge right here. So let's get in that one. Alright, so now we've got this edge here. That's about it. Let's do it. Not too bad. Time to clean it out. Fluffed up and clean. So for tomorrow, and I'm just throwing it out there, if you guys want to subscribe, you'll at least get the update. And I feel kind of pathetic even asking for that, but what the heck. Go ahead and subscribe. I'll keep working on this thing. In fact, I'll keep working on a bunch of boats all year long, and all you have to do is stop by, see what I'm starting on. If it looks interesting, show up tomorrow. I'll probably finish it. So tomorrow I'm going to work on this. I'm going to get up here, probably work from the windshield forward, and I'm just going to concentrate on this white Gelcoat island up here. Then I'm going to move into the paint. What I'll likely do is draw a line kind of from the windshield, about 45 degrees angled down, aimed at this cleat probably. I'll stop here. This will be one section of the boat from here forward, everything on the top. Once I get that done, then I'll move back down here. I'll blend the two sections together right around this cleat. I'll hit this paint, hit this Gelcoat, and we'll work it all the way to the back. Then hop to the other side, do the exact same thing. If you're interested at all in seeing how that goes and how you can turn the top side of this boat into something that looks like that from something that looks like this, well, by all means, tune in. If that's not interesting to you and all you came to see was how to polish a hull, well, congratulations, you've achieved your goal. And the rest of us will be back here tomorrow to deal with this. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, or if nothing else, slightly were entertained. All right, bye.